everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into things, I want to say Happy New Year. I know that we are still in 2024, but this is my last YouTube video that's dropping this year, so I want to get that out the way. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a New Year's Eve look, and I'm not going to even kid you, I have no plans for New Year's Eve. I'm actually going to be lounging around the house. For the ones that do go out and celebrate the new year, I want to create a look that you can draw inspiration from. You are going to hear my kids being extremely loud in the background because they are playing and having fun. Let's chit chat and do makeup. I seriously cannot believe that we're at the end of 2024. I feel like this was one of the fastest years for sure, and also it wasn't my favorite, but it is a year that I made the absolute most progress. Like, I made so much progress this year and I'm so proud of myself, so we're going to be talking about that. Even though this year was filled with a lot of lessons, I had so many wins and I'm so proud of how far I've come, but I'm not going to even kid you. The L's, oh my goodness. After so many losses and feeling like every door was just being shut in my face and just really questioning things, I was like, you know what? I have to find the silver lining. I have to find the good in all of the bad I felt like I was experiencing, because this year was ghetto. This year was so ghetto. Oh my goodness, child. Something I had to deal with this year was friendship loss. I don't feel like people talk about it enough. Usually think that like friendship loss, okay, you know, teenage, maybe college. Like, I'm in a weird space where I am grieving the loss of one of my longest going friendships, but I'm also like, okay, I can't let that stop me. I have to continue to put myself out there and just trust that, you know, hey, I could still make friends at my big age because I'm 31. But you know, it's just different. I honestly did not see myself going through a friendship breakup at 31. Like, And social media has not made this transition easy, especially seeing how many women around my age already have their tribe. It's like they already have their friends, and here I am, like, I'm still going through a friendship breakup and I'm not sure how this is supposed to go. I don't know how to navigate it. Honestly, this is such an awkward space to be in, but I feel like I'm just surviving it. Like, I'm getting through it, even though I wish I wasn't dealing with it. On top of going through like a friendship breakup, I have to say my boundaries were tested beyond their limits this year. And it had me questioning, is this really a boundary? Because if it is, why are you so flexible? For me, it was a boundary, but when people were not respecting that boundary, it was like, okay, well, maybe I can make some adjustments, you know, maybe I'm a little too hard. I don't have to necessarily stand 10 toes down on this, but let's be a little bit flexible. And I found myself bending and just always being flexible with my boundaries. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? There's no way that this is your boundary. There is no way that this is your boundary when no one is respecting its boundary. You can't force someone to respect your boundary. Like, you really can't force it. And I grew up in a generation where it was one of those things where, oh, this person is stuck in their ways. So I feel like the whole stuck in your ways thing is a way to allow a person to be disrespectful to you, but you can't say anything about it and you can't stand up for yourself because that person is, you know, stuck in their ways. So I saw how it was affecting me and it was very problematic. However, I didn't know how to stand on business. I didn't know how to stand up for myself when, you know, I still had those things that I grew up with. So it's like, okay, if this is your boundary and this person is clearly not respecting it, what's next? What am I supposed to do? So I had to really just have a serious talk with myself. Like, okay, is this your boundary? And how are you going to go about upholding that boundary when people are clearly disrespecting you? When I say I had to have that conversation, it was not an easy conversation to have with myself. It made me realize that my boundaries meant nothing to a lot of the people who I was around. Now, I wouldn't disrespect their boundaries at all. However, I was too flexible with mine. I was way too flexible when it came to my boundaries. So having to deal with that, it was just crazy. A part of me was deeply rooted in being a people pleaser, and I was out here trying to be everything to everyone, and it just wasn't working out for me, especially when it caused me to just lose myself in trying to please everyone else. And another thing that I want to hit on is on top of me trying to please everyone, I was also dealing with like putting people on these high pedestals because of their relationship to me. For instance, like, your mom, you probably let your mom get away with so much stuff, even disrespecting you because, that's your mom. And your dad, your sisters, your cousins, like just dealing with that and not knowing how to navigate. Like, no matter what this person do, at the end of the day, we're family. So I have to forgive my mom. I have to be around her. I have to forgive my dad, my cousin, my sister, my brother. It's that type of thing. When you are taught to believe that no matter what, that this person is your family, so they must be treated a certain way. You have to forgive them even if this person is seriously just trying to bring you down no matter what you do. You have to be accepting of this and just know that you keep trying. Basically, you gotta just keep putting yourself out there, allowing your family to treat you any kind of way, and just accept it, because at the end of the day, we're family. So having to like deal with that and trying to also navigate life, motherhood, being a wife, and also my own mental health, and it was just so much that I was dealing with, and I'm like, I just needed a break. The fact that no one was truly respecting my boundaries, it made me just question a lot of things. I had to do a lot of deep dive in, and let me just tell you, it was not easy. 0 out of 10, do not recommend, but it's the hard work that you have to put in to work on yourself to even know that these things are happening. I had to hold a mirror up to myself and see what it was that I was allowing that made people comfortable enough to even disrespect me to begin with. And in doing that, I said, oh, it's my flexibility. It's me not being able to stand up for myself. And that's mainly because, all of the people that was in my life that was mistreating me, they had such prominent titles. We were family. So that was something, and I don't recommend going through that. So if you've never been there, I don't want you to go there. So I want you to just do the work so you can avoid going through and dealing with what I had to. It's no fun. I am gonna add a little shimmer. I wanna add some more of that. Oh yes, like that. I want to add some shimmer on some silver on top of here. I think that it looks so pretty. This is one heck of an eye. This is so cute. And if you haven't figured it out, this is my first time doing makeup like this, a whole chit chat session. Another thing that I had to deal with, I felt like this was the year of not yet for me. Now, originally, I felt like this was the year of no. I was like, I keep getting no, I keep hearing no, 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 no. But I didn't give up. I didn't let that define anything, but I will say it did have me down. I was down. I don't want to say real bad, but I was down for quite some time because no had just become the language that I was accustomed to. I did feel like a lot of doors were being closed and I couldn't figure out how to open those doors. I'm like, look, I'm doing this, I'm doing ABC, so I should make it to XYZ, but it's like, no, that's not how it is. However, I did find myself saying that all of this was God's plan. I have to say, I was blaming God for a lot of the things that I was out here doing myself. It's like, no, that wasn't God's plan. That was me doing it. But instead of me taking accountability, it was like, yeah, this is God's plan. He had this plan for me. So yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. And a lot of the things that I was doing, it was like, now God did not tell you to do that. But I was so deep in my head that I couldn't hear God clearly. I started confusing God's voice with my own voice. It was so hard to separate the two. With everything that was going on, my go-to line was, oh, this is God's plan. I kept saying that this was God's plan. He had this plan for me. And the whole time it was me making my own decisions, doing my own thing, and none of that was God's plan. None of it. It's so easy to say that it is God's plan, especially when you're out here knowing you're making horrible decisions and you know where it's going to lead. Of course, you can say that it's God's plan. Why not? So therefore, when it doesn't work out, you can say, God changed his mind. It was God's plan, but things change. It's like, girl, no, that was never God's plan to begin with. But I did not want to face the reality of I was out here doing things on my own. I was literally making my own decisions and always just saying it's God's plan. Like, no, that was not God's plan. That was not his will for my life. He did not say that this needed to happen. That was me, and I was lacking accountability. And that's just what it is. So it's like I saw the difference in my life when I was doing things on my own versus when I was actually listening and hearing God's word. One thing about God, he will take you through things and it will be your testimony. But the decisions that I was making on my own and then saying that it was God's plan, girl, that was you. Like, God wasn't in it. And that's why it was just so much happening to me, because God wasn't in it. I wasn't being true. I was just simply saying that it was God and leaving it at that. And that was not the case. That was me just trying to live for myself. And ultimately, I learned a tough lesson. Now, 2024 was not all bad because a lot of good things happened this year. But I have to say, some of my hardest lessons definitely happened this year. And I am grateful for them. I'm happy that these things did happen because I had to learn. However, I do feel like some of those lessons, I should have already known. I should have already known, but of course, since I was not operating on God's time, I was operating on my own time, I had to learn the hard way. I learned a lot of things the hard way. I'm not afraid to say that or talk about it, but yeah, I definitely learned the hard way. Could it have been avoided? Yes, but it also taught me a lot about myself. So all of these lessons that I learned, I needed to learn. I had to go through it. And I'm so happy that I did. Now I can say that. Now I can say that I'm happy I went through it. But when I was going through it, there was nothing fun about it. Nothing at all. So some of my wins this year that I'm so excited about. But let me say, I almost gave up on YouTube. I was this close. Actually, I was on a delete page. I was full on going to delete my YouTube page because I just felt like life was happening to me and I couldn't see the good in anything. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. But one thing for sure, I am so passionate about creating videos and sharing things with you all. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. So here I am, still going on my YouTube channel because, yeah, I love creating. I love creating these videos and I'm going to keep doing it. But yeah, so some of the wins that I celebrated this year, my skincare business actually hit 500 orders in one day. So that was a huge win. Really, really, really big thing. I'm still shocked. I am still shocked about it because what? Little old me? So yeah, that is, oh my goodness, yes. And I just realized I have not been showing you guys the products that I'm over here using. I am just putting stuff on my face and I'm just going with my day. How rude. I am so sorry about that. I'm just gonna show you the things that I used. So yeah, I just been going and talking and going and talking and going. All right, I'll just do like just a product show soon enough. I'll do that soon. But my kids, they are getting ready to go to the movies to see Sonic 3. So that's what the kids are down there all excited about. My husband's taking them to the movies. Yeah, that's going to be so much fun for them. Another win, we moved to a new state. So we stepped out on faith. We did pray about this and we asked God for guidance and all of the things, lots of prayer, and we had to trust that this was what God was telling us to do. So this has been an amazing thing. So I've always wanted to live in the South, but never really did anything to get here. But now we are here and we are all loving it. We are loving it so much. It's really nice. The kids love it. My husband loves it. I love it. It's just, oh my goodness. It's very different because we are from the north, of course, but the South is just you really can't explain. You just have to experience the South to really know what I'm talking about. We were so used to the rude people up north. It's really nice to see that people actually speak. I absolutely love that. I feel like I should do something here, but I feel like I should also just like leave it. So the move here has been amazing. And another thing, I decided that I'm going to keep doing content. I mean, obviously, but I'm going to actually keep going. And I made a promise to myself. I'm not going back on it. I'm just going to push through. Even the hard times, the times where I want to give up, I'm just going to keep pushing through for my YouTube journey. I'm debating like if I should put yeah, I'm going to try something. Just a little bit. I'll put it here. Okay, this turned out a lot better than I expected. Like, I thought it would be cute, but whoa, it actually turned out really nice. Who would have known that eyeshadow would do my liner? Oh my goodness, this is so good. It looks amazing. Yes, ma'am. I like what I'm doing here. I feel like this is definitely a New Year look. What do you think so far? Another win for this year, I did not give into temptation. Now this is a really big one because I've been wanting to upgrade my camera for probably about 3 months now. Then I sat down with my husband and I told him like, you know, I don't really know my camera. Like, I don't really know how to work my camera. And if you know anything about me, I am someone who loves tech. I am such a tech girl. Like, latest cameras, latest phones. I like tech. Well, cameras and phones. That's about it for me. But I'm really big on, you know, that side of things. So it was really hard for me not to invest in another camera. The camera I have is the Canon R50. I was really debating getting a Sony Alpha 7 IV. And honestly, I don't even know, well, at the time, I didn't even know how to work my current camera. So after we had that conversation, I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to take the time to get to know my camera before I upgrade to another one, especially a Sony. I don't know much about Sony. I had the Sony ZV-E10, and honestly, I didn't like the quality. I felt like the quality, it was just, I didn't like it. I am someone who would buy something now, ask questions later. This smells amazing. I love this morphine spray. You can't really complete a New Year's Eve look without mascara. You have to have mascara. It's just, it is an unspoken rule. Or is it spoken? Like, does everyone know that? Does everyone know that? I don't know. All right, back to my wins this year. Another thing I did was step out on faith and completely trust God. I know that I can't control everything, and I am one of those people who absolutely need to know everything that's going on. Like, I need to know the plan A, B, C, and beyond. Like, I need to know what we're doing. And what if this doesn't work out? What are we going to do if it doesn't work? And let me just tell you, trusting God doesn't work that way. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. It was like, yeah, God, I trust you. However, I'm still going to make sure this goes well. And it's like, how can you trust God and make sure things go well? That's the whole point of trusting him. That's the whole purpose of having faith. In the beginning of this year, I was not fully trusting God. Like, my faith walk was tested so many times. And that's only because I couldn't see the bigger picture. I couldn't see what God had for me. And I felt like I should be able to control the outcome. If I go this way, I should end up here. But for me, I was going this way and I was ending up all the way on the other side. And I'm like, but how? And none of it was making sense to me. I thought I was trusting God, but it wasn't showing up in my actions. Like, I truly wasn't trusting him. I was trusting myself. And I don't want to say that was a mistake, but I definitely learned my lessons from trusting myself. I'm not saying I'm not trustworthy, but I don't always know. And that is also like one of the biggest things on your faith journey in your walk with Christ. You won't always know, and you have to be okay with not knowing. You have to be okay. Another thing I did, I let go of expectations when it comes to other people, because I was being let down left and right. When I say left and right, every time I turned around, I was being let down. And that's because my expectations of people was just way too high. When you expect certain things, it's easy for you to be let down. Honey, people will let you down. Every time people want to let you down. For my lip, I don't really want to put on a lip, honestly. Actually, I'm gonna do something super simple. I'm gonna do this, put it here. Hey babe.
What's up?
You ready?
Yep.
Oh, y'all heading out?
Yeah, I'm having a good prep, so.
Okay. I'm just gonna put some here and here. I feel like I could use a liner, but I don't really want a liner. So I'm gonna just do this. Are you coming to my video? He decided to get on the floor with me and get in my video. So you're gonna just back out quietly? You're not gonna say hey? Are you gonna say hey?
Just to let y'all know, this took a lot of years for her to do this makeup. It took a lot of years. But she found her beauty in both herself and the makeup.
Aww. Thank you, babe.
And now I'm finna drop one of the kids on her as I take the other 4 out for a movie.
Yes.
So you gotta say something nice before you leave.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap this video up because I do have to get our youngest, because he's taking the older kids to the movies.
She doesn't say this. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, I never say that.
And she say I don't watch her videos.
Okay, so my husband be watching my video. Yeah, I am going to wrap this up, but thank you for listening to me talk and do makeup. And before I leave, I do want to show you the products that I use. I use this palette here. This is the Morphe Tease the Season palette, and you guys know that I was doing this for my glam looks for holiday season. For my blush, I use the Young Blood Mineral. I forgot what shade this in. It's somewhere on there, but kind of got to speed through. This is what I prime my face with. I already showed that. Of course, the setting mist is Morphe. I also used Morphe concealers. I used, what concealer is this? This is Rich 30, and then I had Medium 12. Medium 12, Rich 30. I think that's basically it. Oh, for my lip, I use Brick Road. It is Essence Brick Road. Oh, mascara Estee Lauder. I used quite a few brushes. Here are the brushes that I used. I used these brushes here. So yeah, I was going through them. Okay, y'all, so I actually came back to change the lip. This is the NYX Club Hopper Lip Liner. I like where this looks. This is NYX Vintage Lipstick. Now this is the look that I was going for. Let me know what you think of this look in the comments. Again, I want to say Happy New Year. I pray that God blesses you abundantly in 2025. May you enjoy the New Year shenanigans. I will see you next year.